Alright, upcoming we have a surprise cast. They really do hit me with these last minute offers. It's really flattering. Love that. Hope everything turns out well. I'm still reeling from my audio buffs. Not too long ago. With a little bit of patience, we'll be ready up in a moment. Going to fetch both team captains. Oh. Going to go through the coin flip right now. I'm sorry about this. Last organizations. I'm really hoping everything's optimized, there'll be no stream lag. How is my... Do I need to restart my computer? Oh dearie dear. The memory is looking decent, it should be running nicely, okay. I have time to restart my computer. Should I? I believe I should be able to go on without it. I have no exact measurements, but eyeballing it looks like I should definitely make it, I would say. Right now we are just waiting on the team captains. And what can I anticipate? Did I put self-cam on? Hello. Not sure if I should put self-cam on. How do I even look? I haven't checked myself in the mirror yet today. Surprise casted. Gotta shave. I'll just turn that off for the time being. So while we wait for our team captains, they should be busting in this coin toss server any moment now. Let's talk about cool skins. You gotta get those good color palettes. You gotta consider the mount synergies. Lobby to NGS server. Is this where we're having the coin toss right now? Alrighty. I can very well do that. I don't have you guys on my friends list. Are you on the NGS channel for... Alright. I'll just call you in from there, and you guys can invite the rest of your team. Yep, I've got the coin on hand. Do you guys care who calls first? All good? Okay, physical flip, here we go. That is a heads. Alright, I got it set with my layout. And I will be calling both teams to the lobby. I've just typed into the NGS chat. Already in the lobby? ELHF? Oh, getting my final clarification. Gonna toss out the readies, and we're going to go right into our draft. Alright, and there's our ready. There might be a particular rule where if they take a long time to ready, where it just becomes too where it just becomes too suspenseful. Maybe I should have waited for another ready from team Can't Stop Won't Stop. Anyhow, on the left you have team Can't Stop Won't Stop, and on your right you have team for my FML for my loss for my for my luck. I stutter to say a lot of things in that place. Now, Tomb of the Spider Queen. Possible bans. We could see Nazebo, who is able to get a solid rotation and get lots of early game stacks. we may see Chromie was able to interrupt and disrupt anybody turning in gems on the objective while staying in the range of her towers. The available routes for rotations are also very, very safe, so Chromie can make use of those as well. We're going to see a Sylvanas.
With every death comes honor. With honor, redemption.
To make sure no pushes are accelerated, Hanzo comes out as the first pick for Team For My Loss, while Greymane was the second ban. Or Can't Stop, Won't Stop. Greymane just the solid all-rounder, jack of all trades, and definitely, surprisingly, not the squishiest assassin on part that he has Organ Form to give him 10 armor on demand. ETC coming out as the first pick. Now that affects the draft in a couple of ways.
I'm here to help.
We may be looking for more Mosh interrupts. And generally going to be finding ways to make use of ETC's choreographed crowd control. You can't be too clumped together. To make sure can't be too clumped together because ETC would just get too much crowd control value on a multi-person stun. So the best way to go about interrupting a mosh pit would be able to take a backliner with the ability to interrupt mosh pit, like Li Ming with a wave of force, like Tiranda with her E. Li Ming, of course, being the more ideal of the two cases because she packs some mobility in her base kit. Jaina does follow up very well on an ETC and can make use of any... Let's say ETC goes for extra slows whenever he hits W. That could help Jaina line up any skill shots. That could also generally help Peel, of course. But ETC usually goes for talents like Encore, which create very sturdy areas of denial by pushing enemies back twice. Stukov comes out as a ban. I do have to move something right here. I'm curious, that team banned Stukov in particular. Stukov has a lot of follow-up. He can help with Jaina and ETC, getting slows at a distance, peeling with flailing swipes. But at the same time, he could hurt their team by providing a reliable interrupt for mosh pit, by providing a reliable interrupt to combos in general, if he is savvy enough and is able to get a silence on Jaina. Meanwhile, Johanna Kilthas, I'm part of Team For My Loss, can do a lot of damage. Johanna pulls everybody into a center that Kilthas can detonate with his own flame strikes and bombs. Going to see an Arthas ban come out. This is really a blast of the past. Arthas comboing with Jaina on Tomb of the Spider Queen using really highly effective rotations. A route to Jaina burst has always been a combo, and forever will be. Arthas is slow in a sustained fight, as well as his ability to peel for his back line. Simply by being a big threat himself, with the stacking E that hits so many targets. Going to see a double front line coming right off the bat. Not right off the bat. They've already picked 2 damage dealers.
Oh, this is my jam!
On For My Loss. So you can't really pick a damage dealer that specifically combat. Well, they can pick one damage dealer, but they they can't have their entire team react to the double frontline archetype. And Lucio does help that archetype very well, the double frontline. He can provide, at level 16 with his power spike and healing, he provides percentage-based healing, and the speed boost helps Jaina get in range to perform her combos, or nail that one major Ring of Frost. Although there might be a little bit too much overlap. Team Can't Stop, Won't Stop, true to their name, they're packing tons and tons of engage and disengage. Lucio might be a little bit redundant in that, since they already have a Nubrak in ETC.
I will
Sonya and Rhaegar.
Blades are yours.
That is tons of wave clear, a decent frontline threat, and Rhaegar has been showing up a lot in HTC lately. He simply brings in a nice balance of damage and healing. He's able to 1v1 a lot of characters, decent matchups all around. Without his old lightning shield, he won't be able to take camps as easily as he once has. Samuro! Coming out and Can't Stop, Won't Stop. That is a lot of melee going into Kel'Thas of all things. Samuro does have one ability to combat the chain bombs, but combating Flame Strike will be much harder, and I think beyond any human APM. Combating chain bombs, Samuro has the ability to activate the clone swap, or just summon his clones in the first place. When he does either of those two things, he dispels all debuffs. That would mean Lunar Poison, Chain Bomb from Kel'Thas, and even Pulse Bomb from Tracer. Aside from that, let's see. I'm not entirely sure how Rhaegar combats combos, but he does combat single target follow-up with his... Oh, excuse me a moment. Let's get this. Throw that there. And have everything aligned. So, on your left, we have the blue team Can't Stop, Won't Stop, with Omega Soul on Samuro of all things, Captain Sam on a Nubrak, Zelgadiz on Lucio, Arek Burr. Help me pronounce names in general. This is such a burden. On ETC, Engineered on Jaina. On your right, we have Team FML. We have Kendo on Johanna, Shadow Lees on Kel'Thas, Drink and Run on... That's Rhaegar. Excuse me, what a sin. Consort on Hanzo, and John Knight on Sonya. They do not want a team fight mid because Sonya is immediately split to the bottom lane, even though the lanes converge in the order of top, middle, bottom. That's when the creeps arrive from middle to start duking it out. We're going to see a little bit of a 5v4 nonetheless. Relatively even health bars, but Team 4-mana Lost has taken a significant hit on their mana bars. We're going to see a 4-1 rotation, and they must be careful to not lose any soak. They have wave clear for days with Kel'Thas and Rhaegar Lightning Shield, as he's using at a safe range using that totem. And Johanna being one of the tanks with the best wave clear and engage combination. Blaze has plenty of wave clear himself, but he does not have the engage. It is too slow, too choreographed. Not easy to dodge, but it's easy to walk away from. Before it hits, of course, and make sure it doesn't hit. This will be, no. I was going to say a little bit of soak would be lost, but never mind. Anyhow, Sonya is going to be handily winning this bottom lane, I do predict, so long as she does not take too many tower shots. Your self-sustain will be too much, and a Nubarak will take too many hits to his mana bar when he tries to interrupt it. And a Nubarak has no self-sustain on his own. So any hit Sonya does to him, beyond his Hardened Carapace ability, will be somewhat permanent. While it is easy to say a 4-1 rotation is ideal, it's really easy to miss some soak. Like, this minion is going to have his experience lost, never to be seen again. There goes another. And Hanzo comes to get the rest of the soak of that wave. You may idealize a 4-1 split, but sometimes you simply have to split up that 4-man to avoid missing soak waves. Just like this 4-man will be missing the soak up here. It really is a delicate balance and dance that you will always see on Tomb of the Spider Queen. I do say always, I ought to avoid using absolutes. Now we're going to see a bit of a congregation here, and they even have Sonya pull up. A gank goes down on Sonya bottom lane, but she gets away handily as she was not overextending in lane. A Jaina follow-up on a Nubarak stuns is absolutely terrifying, and you would think Sonya would be going down, while they use that push as a distraction mid lane. May see a 4v3 here, but Jaina hangs around mid lane to soak some creeps. Hanzo is going to have his W ability come out. The talent taken at level 4 serrated arrows, dealing 150% more damage to minions and monsters. Is going to be absolutely devastating on minions, on merc camps, anyone that will take these scatter arrow shots in their entirety. Lucio not taking a very safe rotation route. You see, there's a drastically safe and a drastically unsafe rotation route. You can either find yourself in the bottom lane, should you be approaching from mid lane, and pretty much in the middle of the bottom lane, or you can be a bit uncomfortably far behind your fort when you rotate. It'll be a slow rotation, but extremely safe. You do not come across any bushes, sans this one. You might get a little bit too close. That is Diablo's Shadow Charge range from that bush to that wall. But you get the point. Anyhow, we have a fight on our hands. A Web Weaver does tons and tons of damage using, I don't even know what that spell is, but it's a web wave. Let's call it that. Because you do surf the web on a web wave. It does absolutely massive damage to what seemed like every single member of Team Can't Stop Won't Stop right there. Definitely zoning off in engagement. We're going to see level 10 coming up shortly. I'm part of 4 of my losses solid rotations, and what appears to be a lead of 1 kill on Lucio, which happened just earlier. Going to see a crisp 5v5 just before level 10 comes in. Any picks now will stagnate the game until Can't Stop Won't Stop will be able to get level 10. But level 10 has arrived, and right now Can't Stop Won't Stop wants to defend these mercs that are wailing away on these towers. They cannot hang around any longer, but they were able to sneak in a turn in and secure the objective just before anything wrong could happen. This would give them a smooth transition to level 10. but I kind of doubt they're going to get a lot of value on the objective. This Web Weaver has a long trek to the towers, and as you know, Web Weavers do lose health as they make their arduous journey. A Dragon Arrow comes out from Hanzo. Sonya is quick to follow up with a Spear and a Whirlwind coming right in. A Phoenix comes in, and so does every other enemy team, walking right over ETC and Lucio. Now, in the meantime, we have Samuro using this half-health Web Weaver. The Web Weaver has not taken any damage from heroic sources or minions. That half a health bar is just what is received from taking this long walk over to the tower. Anyway, Samuro was able to take down the front wall, not quite the healing fountain from that, and the healing fountain will be able to regenerate its shields. We may have a 5v5 on our hands, just as one team tries to catch the other on rotation. We have a smooth disengage, and perhaps Team 4 My Loss will choose to get a team fight once they have a talent advantage. And Nurak 3 pushes on this tower down lane. And Team FML has to be careful not to lose any soak once the neutral has been reestablished. And meanwhile, we have full gem counts. A full gem count meaning both teams do have enough to turn in. Sonya goes right onto Lucio, a bit overextending actually. But she has no damage dealers to punish her. And the tank school is simply crowd controller and auto attacker left and right, but her whirlwind gives her the sustain. Nurak goes right in on the backline. This choke point is absolutely terrifying for both teams. The Dragon Arrow gets double stun onto ETC and the Nurak, but Jaina and Kel'Thas are going to be able to use this choke point to absolutely detonate the enemy team. Ring of Frost comes out, hits one target, Kel'Thas, but no follow-up is able to be had, as right now their tank ETC is down, and they do not want to be approaching the fight any longer. This secures Web Weavers for Team FML. While Team Can't Stop, Won't Stop will have to defend. Oh, one, of course, little unique dynamic would be ETC's Mosh Pit, as we might see later in this game, and Johanna's Unstoppable. Johanna is able to not only walk into Mosh Pit, she's able to pop Condemn, before ETC even activates Mosh Pit. Which may time the interrupt well enough that it goes on full cooldown while hardly getting any value at all. And of course, Johanna does have Blessed Shield, which allows her to interrupt Mosh Pit from afar. Kel'Thas has Nether Wind, a basic ability that he can interrupt Mosh Pit well with. And here we have our engagement. Sonya goes right in, getting lots and lots of whirlwind value on Samuro clones. The ETC Mosh Pit and the Nubarak Cocoon have a little bit of anti-synergy right there, but meanwhile Jaina gets a huge Ring of Frost in the top. But now Team Can't Stop, Won't Stop is just being cleaned up. ETC did not interrupt his own Mosh Pit while the Cocoon was down. You can't cancel Cocoon, but you can cancel Mosh Pit. If you could cancel Cocoon, that would be glorious. And perhaps too much of a buff to it, as Cocoon already lasts an extremely long time. I cannot click on that profile picture. Anyway, we're going to have boss taken on account of that one fight by 4 My Loss, and meanwhile a keep was taken by the objective in the bottom lane. It is pretty much always good to take a team fight while your team has map advantage. And when I say map advantage, that means there are mercenaries, a boss, an objective, anything that is split pushing during the team fight. So if the enemy team wins the team fight, they will simply have to either defend or trade with the mercenaries that are pushing. Meanwhile, if you win a team fight, you could possibly take the entire game off of it. And you can also, of course, get more push value and anything else. It's your liberty. It's one team fight to creativity combo, that's what it is. Nurak just going to be poking a stun in on the right. Jaina is not close enough to follow up. Samuro on the top gets hit by Poison Spear, gets hit by a Rhaegar Wolf Bite Butt, and goes down pretty quickly. Along with some Kael'thas spell follow-up. This boss and the push is going to be taking the keep, while catapults pressure the bottom lane. They should probably turn in a lot of gems in the middle, but at the same time, they are up a major talent tier. That is level 16 for Kael'thas. That means double detonation on Flame Strike. For Sonya, that means Nerves of Steel. Joanna, that means Holy Renewal. For Rhaegar, that means Earth Grasp Totem. Making a huge slow, 90%, that is pretty much a stun, or a root. That comes out instantly. And in combination with Kael'thas' Flame Strikes, among other abilities, just freeze them in place, have some imagination. They can hit him with both of Kael'thas' Flame Strikes, hit him with a lot of Phoenix, hit him with a lot of easy skill shots from Sonya, Johanna, and everyone else. Hanzo, definitely. Going to have a scatter arrow used to scout out this bush, as well as a little bit of this area. I really have to look at some calculations for how much scouting value you're going to get off a scatter arrow. We're going to have to have this fort be pushed down very swiftly and thoroughly. We're going to have Team, for my loss, use that level 16 talent tier advantage, while the Web Weavers will simply have to be used to de-push these two lanes that have catapults right now. They probably do not even have to worry about the Web Weavers, as the catapults do plenty of damage to them on their own. Will they push for an engage right here? Use that level 16 talent tier advantage. Right now, I notice Sonya does not have her ultimate. However, there are 5 ultimates available on part of Team Can't Stop, Won't Stop. Sonya engages nonetheless. Kael'thas whips out a Flame Strike to zone the middle. And level 16 comes online for Team Can't Stop, Won't Stop. They will have to clear these 2 catapults down here. And 2 catapults will be building up in the bottom lane shortly. Don't you prove me wrong, you better survive this. Yes, 2 catapults will be coming from the bottom lane shortly. And we may see a pick-off. It is typically advantageous to engage on an enemy team. Let's say both of you are even. Both of you are on even talent tiers. Now we're going to be having a turn in. The last gem does get turned in by Hanzo. And this is a good time to team fight for Team For My Loss right now. Even though Hanzo does get picked out of position, he uses Dragon Arrow to try to save himself, and the Ancestral Healing comes down on Hanzo to bring him to full. These Web Weavers might be able to get them the game right now. Actually, would it have been a good time to team fight? If they lost the team fight, Team Can't Stop, Won't Stop would have been able to secure level 20, maybe earlier, but they definitely wouldn't have lost anything from these upcoming Web Weavers, which are right now closing in on the core. This is going to be a lost keep, and whether or not the core is lost along with this keep is going to be decided in the team fight to come. Right now, Can't Stop, Won't Stop has to cleverly split and get both of these Web Weavers, while hopefully nobody dies mid lane. You see, gets a power slide in onto Sonya. The duration isn't that much because of Sonya's ultimate reduction of crowd control. The cocoon goes down onto Rhaegar, who is able to ancestral heal somewhere else along the way. ATC is able to power slide with an inch of his life left. Anubarak goes down to Rhaegar. Prove me wrong. And we have many catapults. A whole jamboree can of catapults just goes to town on the core. While everything goes down. And that is a relatively low death game. Both teams playing very safe. Not a whole lot of engagements throughout. And you saw that team, for my loss, was able to make very good use of their objectives and split pushing, getting an early game lead through soak and good rotation, getting a kill onto Lucio, which solidified their ascent into level 10, and from there they were able to maintain their lead and snowball effectively. Can't Stop, Won't Stop might have had a little better rotations in the early game, might have been able to save a keep earlier by saving it from a Webweaver push. And I would really have to go back in time to say anything else. Interesting talents I see. We have Numbing Blast coming out of Jaina. Rooting Shield targets. I'm not entirely sure if she needs that root. She already has so much crowd control and mobility on her team already. May have gone for extra damage. I see Piercing Arrows coming out of Hanzo. A pretty good value talent if you mean to go through multiple targets, and he will poke through the front line onto the juicy back line. And also Samuro will no longer block his shots. I know Samuro clones blocking a lot of Hanzo shots throughout the game, and that may be why they made that pick. And I haven't been keeping an eye on Chain Bomb spread, but there was no game-breaking Chain Bomb spread, so I will give Samuro credit for disabling that as much as he could. Now, I'm going to begin the next lobby. This one will go to... Oh, I've got to get rid of this. Excuse me. And our next game, excuse a pause of animations, will go on Infernal Shrines. That is a curious point brought up from Dr. D. Rec HOTS in the chat. You do not often see Samuro on shrines. This is in part he has a pseudo-global swapping between clones. He can use to rotate between lanes in a flash. As well as go between mercenary camps, of course. Going to pause animations, making sure I have everything correct. Alright. Gonna pop a countdown.
Infernal shrines.
And welcome to our second game. We have team Can't Stop Won't Stop versus team For My Loss. For My Loss has taken the first game on Tomb of the Spider Queen using rotations and a good early game lead. And here we have Greymane first ban coming out on part of Team Can't Stop Won't Stop. This was their first ban for Tomb of Spider Queen. Perhaps they just do not like Greymane in particular. They think he's overpowered. Perhaps there's a lot of reasons. Greymane's a very bursty hero, and your support has to be able to react to his burst. There may be certain team compositions you're comfortable with, and Greymane counters those team compositions. Like, say, Sylvanas. Greymane is able to rotate onto Sylvanas and beat her down before she is able to get a significant amount of distance on her E. Especially with Go for the Throat. And Arthas ban comes out as the first ban on part of Team For My Loss. I believe, unless I'm mistaken, that he was the first ban for Team For My Loss in the last game.
Victory for the Forsaken.
Sylvanas, first thing to come out on Infernal Shrines.
With every death comes honor.
And Hanzo,
Honor.
first pick
Redemption.
from Team For My Loss. Mirroring last game, well, aside from the Sylvanas pick, that is very new. Now, Sylvanas is able to accelerate any push from the Punisher, while doing significant AoE damage to the shrine with her Shadow Dagger. I do say significant, it may seem like a small amount of damage, however, the damage will hit every single minion on the shrine without delay. With a lot of delay, but without exception. Going to see Sonya, a classic pick for Infernal Shrines. She will get healing value off of every minion that swims around those shrines. Hanzo may be a little bit unusual for Infernal Shrines, given that his arrows are blocked by the minions inside it. However, he's a solid pick all around, I would say. He packs solid, lots and lots of poke damage with his Q build, the most popularized build right now. And his W can be used from afar using the choke points and I'm going to say very thick map geometry on this map in particular. Lots of corridors, lots of hallways, lots of walls in general, absolutely everywhere. Going to have a little bit of Rat all trap bleeding there. Leave Arthas open, please. I'm part of team Can't Stop Won't Stop. But Arthas is very much denied from Team For My Loss, so I believe Arthas is one of our players on Team Can't Stop Won't Stop must be very proficient on Arthas to earn this respect then. Now we are seeing a Varian plus Kael'thas. Varian can taunt somebody in place, get one target in particular, while dishing out a lot of damage on his own. Varian is somebody I address as a stat monster. He has a huge health bar. He does lots and lots of damage, burst damage in particular, from his heroic strike. And he's able to get a solid stun with Taunt. He's able to enhance focus damage with Colossus Smash. And we could be seeing either. He could be going either, as their team is heavily burst-oriented. If they pick a tank and a healer as their next two picks, Varian will be free to go Colossus Smash. And just follow up along with Sylvanas and Kel'Thas and burst down a single target.
The Crusade calls.
I'm here to help.
Alright, a Johanna-Jaina combo comes out with tons and tons of Shrine Clear. Johanna is able to bring minions as well as heroes together for Jaina to follow up on with AoE. And Johanna packs a significant amount of wave clear herself with her sectional Q. It's a section of a circle, I believe that is the mathematical term. And her condemn, her W, which does bonus damage. Doesn't do bonus damage to minions, I believe it does. But anyway, two AoE abilities that are great for wave clear. And a Nubarak plus Dukov. So we may be seeing a Colossus Smash variant after all, but who would be their priority target? It would probably be Sonya, who is just a terror in the front line. Jaina goes through her burst and is put on cooldowns. She's put on ice for a little while after she blows her cooldowns, aside from her Frost Bolt. And it's a little build dependent. She may go some talents that reduce the cooldown of her Blizzard. But otherwise, she is not too much of a sustained threat. Sonya, however, is definitely a sustained threat. Is definitely a hero that will soak up damage if you do not deal damage with the intent of finishing her off. In combination with Lockdown. Brightwing is a bit of a sustained threat herself, with short cooldowns with her ultimate, Blink Heal, and also the general healing output and crowd control she brings to the fight. So, on your left, we have Team Can't Stop Won't Stop with Eric Burr on Anubarak, engineered on Kel'Thas. Nice mount combination. Is it? I could judge that fashion later. Omega Soul on Sylvanas, Captain Sam on Varian. That's a nice looking mount combination. And Zelgadiz on Stukov. On your right, we have Team FML with Shadow Leaves on Jaina, Drink and Run on Brightwing, Kendo on Johanna, John Knight on Sonya, and Consort on Hanzo. Now here again, Team FML splits right off and does not want to 5v5 mid lane at all. And curiously, Team Can't Stop Won't Stop does not decide to 5-man push with Sylvanas and Nubarak. Sylvanas and Anubarak is an especially terrifying combo if they choose to push on their own. They can push anytime they want. Anubarak generates beetles, while Sylvanas disables the towers. They enable each other effectively along with the rest of their team to wail away on towers. However, their sustained damage, not burst damage, is looking rather weak. They have no hyper carry threats, they have no Greymane, they have no Mala to continually deal damage throughout a fight. seeing a 4-man rotation onto this Johanna and right wing. Barking takes a lot of damage walking right into the Flame Strike, while Hanzo does not have the Scatter Arrow talent yet, but he will be able to do hefty chunks of damage onto those mercenary camps without it. We're going to see Redemption coming out on part of Hanzo. Whenever he gets a kill... Oh, no. I have to read this quest. This is the first time I've seen it in action. Download complete. So he's going to be an auto attack build, sustain threat, maybe on hyper carry levels. Maybe even more than that. Because I see that dying will make him lose all of his redemption stacks. Much like Tracer will lose her stacks for getting kills, and much like Greymane might lose stacks for getting kills with wizened duelists. Much like Alarak, much like Butcher. Not so much Butcher. But you do get the idea. Here we have a fight on our hands. The rotation does not go hard enough. The tank was not the first to show themselves to this exchange. Johanna may have been sidetracked by that mercenary camp that was recently captured by our heroes on Team Can't Stop Won't Stop. And the Shrine is bottom lane, while Team For My Loss is going to be having a Sonya gank the Sylvanas. Sylvanas will be able to get away by... Well, she'll be chunked a little bit, but will be able to get away handily. While Team For My Loss gets this Merc camp and sets up a huge split-pushing threat in the form of these mercenaries in particular. And they're just going to have to converge as 5 down here, while the right wing enforces this push. Right wing will be able to warp to her friends. In the bottom lane, a huge chain bomb goes off onto Sonya and Jaina. The chain bomb does not spread onto Hanzo furiously, it was probably already hit by it. And the Punisher, a bit of lag right here. I'm not sure where the lag is coming from, but it is resolved quickly. And that chain bomb, along with the other burst follow-up from his teammates, is able to secure them the first Punisher. A Mortar Punisher will do plenty of damage, plenty of follow-up threat. If a Nubarak is able to get any crowd control on targets within all of these Venn diagrams that pop up... Excuse me? Alright, can you make sure he knows? Excuse me. Alright. And we're back to the neutral after a huge bunch of damage has been done to that fort. Sylvanas gets chunked to half health. Remedied a little bit by the cloak. And how much... The Mercenary camp push top did not get as much value as they bargained for, with the Punisher taking more than the wall, doing a lot of damage to the fort. So while the Mercenary camp may have given them experience, and they were able to soak a lot of minions during that Punisher phase, which does give them the experience lead overall. But was it worth it? We will see. We will find our answer once level 10 arrives and they're able to use the newfound advantage. What?
It's gonna automatically turn.
What?
That's what they told you. You're listening.
can't shut him down? Why would it automatically turn off?
Because that's how he set it up.
And he can't fix this. Well, it's gonna automatically turn off in a minute, and this casting is gonna be over.
And that's why he warned you.
Oh god, it just shut... Oh my god. It's over. Oh my god. Straight up.